Back on our 5.7 Hemi build here for a budget. Got our cylinder heads back here. I know, I got them laying on a rack. Don't panic, it's okay. Got a valve job done. Just pick it up here and show you the. Had them all decked and cleaned out there, surfaced. Turned out really nice. Get it back down nice and gently. Sprayed a little brake cleaner in these intake ports, just clean everything out and get all the soot out that I could. Then we'll get started on putting some seals in, then with our valve springs. Okay, now the trick to these are, when you get started, you get your little dab of oil, you know, from our little 727 pan here. Put it around your valve stem. Then put your little protector on there. And you can just kind of almost push it down on there. But with a little brass punch, you can just lightly tap around the edges. Very lightly. Don't be. It's not a cabin screen door. Just ease it on around the edges until it's flush with the bottom like this one. And keep doing the same thing for the rest of them. Till you get all of them done. Alright. Give you a quick rundown how these go in there. It's not difficult, but you can definitely get lost in the moment. So, get a little bit of oil, you know, not a whole lot, just kind of wipe the shaft down. Nothing too extravagant. Get these two little things they sent, slide them over the valve stem. Same thing on the other side. You get your seal, same way it came off, with a little nub up. Slide it down over. Put this one over there for now. Now you just kind of work it down around. You'll feel it get tight. Then come over to this side. Come over to this side a little bit. Back horizontal. And I go in like an opposite motion. Kind of like you would be doing lug nuts. And back over here. Back over here. And you'll know when it's seated because it'll sound hollow. And you'll see the oil that you put on ooze up through the top of the seal. Yeah, see, the sound of that was different. That means it's seated. Yep. And that one's good. One more and we're ready for valve springs. Okay, now that all those seals are in, nice and tight, make sure you pull off these caps. There's only two of them. When you pull them off, it also pulls up the valve. So, on to the next step, and that is this little tool here. Now, I got this as a gift, but I will tell you, it makes your life a whole lot easier when you're doing valve springs. You place it there where the rocker shaft would go, and this would go around your valve spring, and I'll demonstrate it here. The valve springs, you need the 6.4 Hemi valve springs and the shims for them. The 5.7 springs are just flat. These have a little collar on them for the 6.4 springs. I also get these. And like I said, I got these as a kit. They were takeoffs. They had them for $100. I mean, you couldn't beat it. So just put these down over there like that. Put your spring on. Put that on, and you're ready to zip it down and put the retainers on, and I'll demonstrate. We've got to get these tight first, and then we'll zap it on there. Alright, to use this tool, I'll get you a better view of it here. You put it on where your rocker shafts go. I use a speed wrench, and you just want to snug these bolts down. They don't have to be awful tight, just like that. I'm doing it one-handed. I mean, they don't have to be real swedged on there down to torque or anything. Alright, got that on. We'll put our 6.4 shim down there. We'll put our 6.4 spring in there. And then we will get a little retainer and just take an impact whip. Gotta put this on first. And I'll run this down by hand after I put that little piece on, make sure it's not interfering with the valve any. Grab an impact. Make sure that's down there where you can get to all 3 locks. Grab your keepers. Get around here where you can see. Make sure they're on all of them. If it looks like it's got all of them, make sure it's not on 2, or if there's one on top of the other, make sure you've got all your keepers on there. Then put your socket back on there with the impact. Put it in reverse and you're good. Nothing to it. Pretty neat little $100 tool. Beats the big clamp version, I mean, a lot. So we got all these valve springs on, and we're on to the next step. Alright, now what I have here is the reason that I'm taking an engine with these heads off and putting an engine in with these heads. If you look at the intake ports. Not only that, but the chambers are also smaller. So the bigger intake ports, the bigger cam, the bigger valve springs should spice this up a little more and spice that up a little more. Alright, we got some stuff today. We got head bolts. We got head gaskets. I got the good Felpro ones. There is a left and right. If you get these from Amazon, they'll be on my list on my Amazon store. I'll link that in the description. So pay attention. Don't just order ×2. Because there's different part numbers. ×1 twice. Very important. Alright, so let's get this on. I've already got the lifter trays torqued. They're ready to go. Just going to wipe the surface down real quick with a rag. And we'll be installing some cylinder heads. The way I did this was I just took the little gasket scraper razor blade and just got off any loose paint and took a rag, wiped out any paint chips or any type of loose dirt, debris, anything that's going to get in between the head gasket and the head, fingernail clippings, whatever you've got going on in your shop. Just get all that cleaned off as best you can. Nice, smooth, even surface everywhere. As surgically clean as you can. And then you're ready for your gaskets. Now these gaskets are a multi-layer. So you're going to see a couple different types of metal there. Just that allows for the expansion. And if you look at this one, it's stamped with an R. There it is. That means right side, of course. So put that in there. Get it all laid out nice and neat. Maybe one-handed. Sometimes the way you got to look at things is, it's not one-handed. It's 5 fingers. Glass half full. Alright. We'll get the other one on. We're ready for cylinder heads. When you go to put your cylinder heads on, you may get them mixed up. They've been in the machine shop. They've been in the trunk of your car. They've been in your trunk in your living room, wherever you've had them stored, or whoever's had them. You may get left and right mixed up. The important thing to remember is, on the car heads anyway, this is where a pulley goes on the driver's side. So this is cylinder 1, 3, 5, 7 over on this side. So this will go on the right side, and that's the left side. Once you get your head on there on the dowels, We'll want to throw in a couple of bolts there just to keep it secure. They're 15 millimeter. Just a speed wrench, just get them started. Tighten it down just enough to keep it from sliding off. The big bolts are all the same length, so are the small ones. So it doesn't really matter which one you grab, as long as you get big and small, and you'll be able to tell the difference. There's, you know, yeah. Alright, so that one's just down there, just so. You don't want to get them too tight, and then you're off your torque spec. Just enough to keep it from sliding off of the block itself. So that's good on that side. And we'll do the other one the same way. And it is looking faster all the time. Got both heads on, a couple bolts in each one, just to hold it on there and secure it. Not tight, again. You just want to keep it there, keep it from sliding around, make sure it's all centered in good shape. Everything looks good clearance wise. And then we're on to the rest of the bolts, getting them torqued down. Alright, took a little break for a second, went ahead and put these heads on, got everything repainted nice and pretty. As I went and torqued them, get you a girl that follows you around, marks the bolts as you torque them down so you don't get lost. She's kind of handy to have around. Alright, next step is going to be putting a lock in or a lockout cam phaser on this and some timing system, rocker shafts, and a push rods. Thanks guys, like and subscribe. We'll be on for more.